Hari Om. Parents teach their children. Say good morning to this uncle. Say good evening to that aunt. See there, she is giving you a chocolate. Say thank you. Tell them your name, and so on. These are all good. These are etiquettes and manners. Along with these, however, please teach your children the following also. Offering salutations to elders. Please teach your children how to respect elders and persons leading higher lives, usually called holy persons, Guru Jana, Sadhu, Sadhvi, and so on. Teach them how to respect and revere the elders by bowing down, touching their feet, and seeking their blessings. Even today, there are countless Hindu families where children repeat something called the Abhivadana mantra. Abhivadana means salutations and introduction of oneself. How do they do that? Here is the Abhivadana mantra for those who have not heard it. Abhivadaye Vashishta Maitra Varuna Kaundinya Angirasa Paurukutsa Trayarshaya Kaushika Gotraha Apastambha Sutraha Yajushakha Shri Amukanama Sharmannaham Asmi Bho. Dear sir, I am name. I belong to this family lineage of 3 rishis. My gotra is such and such. I am a student of this branch of Veda. This was the tradition of self-introduction. Every Hindu would add the name Sharman, Sharma to their names when they saluted elders to indicate that they were students. This is the Abhivadana mantra. Why should you add rishi names, gotra, etc., about which you have no idea at all? Why? Swami Vivekananda answers your questions repeatedly, several times. He says, I quote, "We must remember that the elders of our societies have never been either generals or kings, but rishis. And who are the rishis? The rishi, as he is called in the Upanishads, is not an ordinary man but a mantra drashta, a seer. He is a man who sees religion, to whom religion is actual realization, a coming face to face with the truths which transcend the senses. This is rishihood, and that rishihood does not belong to any age or time or even to sects or to caste. In India, the greatest princes seek to trace their descent to some ancient sage who is dressed in a bit of a cloth, who lives in a forest studying the Vedas. It is there that the Indian prince goes to trace his ancestry. Do not understand it in the light thrown upon it by interested and ignorant fools, but understand it in the light of the true and original Vedantic conception. These are Swami Vivekananda's words. So, our ancestors are rishis and we salute them, we remember them, we introduce ourselves before elders by remembering and saluting these elders. This is the tradition. Even otherwise, teach your dear children how to salute elders, how to show respect to every elder. This will give them great power in the future. Number 2. How to behave in the temples. When you enter some temple, you are entering the presence of the living divinity. It is a place of prayer and worship. For some it may appear to be just another place, another hall, but not for you. For you it is the holiest of the holies. And you don't see the image there, but the living presence of the divine. We generally think that the image is dead and we are alive. But the actual fact is the image is living and you are dead. You come to the temple to become living, to receive grace, to receive energy, to receive power, strength, and light. Therefore, temples are the sources, the moola of everything. You are entering the presence of the holiest of the holy divine. Teach your children how to enter the temple quietly and respectfully. Teach them how to salute Parameshwara, the supreme manifestation of God. The word God is not correct here, but still of Ishvara, and teach them how to perform Sashtanga Pranamas in front of God. Teach them how to sit down in the temple. Teach them how to pray. Making fun inside the temples, behaving like fools, jumping about, talking loudly, disturbing others in their prayers and meditation. All these are extremely bad manners. It is the same like not saying thank you to that auntie who gave a chocolate. You must also teach the child how to sit facing the image, how to salute, how to venerate in the temple, and so on. No question of unnecessary conversation or adda in the temple. It is a place of prayer and reverence. Sit quietly, meditate for some time, pray mentally, repeat Parameshwara's names, perform japa, and quietly bow down and come out. Secondly, teach your children to be a little liberal. Offer something to Ishvara, no matter how small. It is like putting money in the bank. Thirdly, do some seva. Every time you visit the temple, do a little seva. Even a little thing that you can is enough. It is not the quantity, it is the reverence, it is the quality. It is like investing in the bank of karma that will rebound in 1,000 ways in the future. Build up your good karmas. Temples, as I said, are the resources and sources of everything good and pious and divine. The more often we go, the more we understand the significance. Train your children in these things of Sanatana Dharma. These trainings are absolutely essential. Why? This is because wherever you may be, however much you may try to change or adapt to the new culture you are in, your roots cannot be hidden. You cannot hide your face behind any mask. Your roots are of Sanatana Dharma. So, we of the glorious Sanatana Dharma have been trained since time immemorial to respect our elders, to respect our Shastras, to reverence our Rishis, to pray and meditate in temples, to offer worship, to do seva, and so on. The whole world is gradually understanding the glory, the value, and the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. Why not us? Why not teach our children about these noble values? Please start from now. Thank you very much. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Jai Ma Sharada.